Now we're heading back down the mountain. If you kept going to the end of this road, you'd come back out on 36, but I'm going to turn right by Gum Springs Baptist Church, where Teresa and I went for 7 years. Teresa led music there. Really enjoyed being there from probably, I'm guessing 85 to 1992, somewhere in that area. Brother Robert Slack was the pastor when we first went there, and he was also the pastor at West Hartselle when I was a very young fella, probably a couple of years old when he came to our church. But then Hank Smith became the pastor after Brother Slack, and then Brother Jimmy Smith became our pastor after Brother Hank, and Jimmy was Hank's nephew. And, just had a good time there at that church for 7 years until we moved on to another church, and Teresa led music at Etha Baptist for, I believe, 7 years. House we just passed there on the right, some friends of ours we go to church with have recently built that within the last year, and still working on it. Believe it or not, several years ago, probably around 2015, I think, when we got a pretty good sized snow, my dad and Hunter, my oldest son, and myself came up this mountain, and it was iced over in a Bronco. My dad driving, and of course I think Hunter and I were scared to death, but we made it up the mountain. We were going the opposite direction than I'm going, but I wasn't sure it was a good idea, but my dad talked me into it, so he always made me think everything's gonna be all right, so I know Hunter, when we got back home, he said he was scared to death. And we actually did see a big four-wheel drive truck off the side of the road in the ditch with a wrecker trying to pull him out. The wrecker was having problems, and my dad, he sat there for a while, and he just finally headed on up the mountain and went around the wrecker and the truck off the side of the hill, and we just kept going. So at least he was confident. That's all that mattered. He was the one driving. here's Gum Springs Baptist Church, and this church here has a lot of fond memories for me. Obviously, as I told you earlier, my wife led music here for 7 years, and I was ordained as a deacon in this church in 1986 with a very good, close friend that I had while I was here, and still good friends, Mike Winton. And Bobby Gordon came and preached our deacon ordination service, and just had some great memories here, some wonderful people. And my second cousin, Anthony Patterson, is the pastor here now. And Brother Anthony's been here for quite a while, several years. Lots of good people in that church, and I hate to start naming names because I know I'll forget folks, but I definitely remember Jimmy and Barbara Mays, and Tammy and Kim and Melissa, still good friends of ours today. And of course Chris Eddy and Melissa married, and their daughter is now the golf coach, I believe, at Calhoun, Aaron Eddy. And of course, done mentioned Mike and Tammy Winton. They were in that church and they married. And also Miss Ann Winton was in that church, and really enjoyed being there with them. And the Sivleys, Larry Sibley and Judy, and just so many wonderful people in that church, and just really enjoyed being there. Learned a lot during those years there. I remember Mr. Homer Sullivan was there. He was a long time barber, cut hair for many years, had a shop there right by his house, just down the road from 36 there, and just a wonderful man, him and his wife and his daughters, Marjorie, and I can't remember the other daughter right at the moment, but they were there, and